Welcome back to Hashtag That. I'm Keith Savage.
And I'm Tim Malone. From Coachella to Moana, we're back with the latest entertainment news updates.
All that and more from Hamden to Hollywood. We are your source for Quinnipiac entertainment news.
From Hamden to Hollywood.
We are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Los Angeles news anchor Francesca Capucci passed away at the age of 64 due to lung cancer on March 30th. Capucci was a music reporter in the 1980s and 90s for ABC7. She interviewed stars like Michael Jackson, Ronnie Stewart, and David Bowie. She's being remembered as a fighter and a lover of music. Film director Quentin Tarantino named one of his characters in the 2019 film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood after Capucci. Quote, "Even though she is now gone, we carry her and feel her everywhere we go. We love you, Mom," end quote. That is a small part of what her sons Ian and Will wrote on their mother's Instagram post.
This was a rough weekend for the Swifties. Taylor Swift and actor Joe Alwyn have broken up after 6 years of dating. The news comes as Swift is traveling the country for her sold-out Eras tour. Entertainment Tonight broke the story Saturday evening. An unknown source close to the couple told ET that the breakup was, quote, "not dramatic. The relationship had just run its course. It's why Alwyn hasn't been spotted at any shows." Swift and Alwyn started dating back in 2016.
Actress Olivia Culpo and NFL star Christian McCaffrey confirmed that they were engaged Thursday on Instagram. Culpo posted a picture of McCaffrey getting down on one knee on her post. Rank-A-Surge founder and CEO Nicole Wegman said, quote, "We worked with Christian to thoughtfully design a ring that encompassed Olivia's trend-setting style while still remaining timeless," end quote. The couple has been dating since 2019. Culpo has previously said her friend Kristen Lowell and NFL player Tyler Gaffney matched the two with each other in June. She wrote on Instagram, quote, "I was worried it would be the same old story all over again, that all guys were the same. While my expectations were low, I knew I couldn't close myself off and make decisions based off fear," end quote.
This was a big weekend for Star Wars fans. Fans got some huge announcements from the 2023 Star Wars Celebration this weekend, hosted in London. The biggest announcement is the return of actress Daisy Ridley portraying her character Rey in a new movie set after the sequel trilogy. This is just one of 3 movies that were announced. The second is coming from Star Wars legend Dave Filoni, and the third from director James Mangold, who directed the new upcoming Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Other things we got was a new trailer for the upcoming Ahsoka television show starring Rosario Dawson. The trailer featured many characters from the hit television show Rebels, which fans gladly welcomed. We got confirmation that an Andor Season 2 is in development and slated for a summer 2024 release, as well as new information for 2 other Star Wars shows in development, Star Wars Skeleton Crew and Star Wars The Acolyte.
The new Super Mario Bros. Movie came out last week. Here with an exclusive interview with Odyssey Central is Marcus Ferrer and James Chiappa.
Hey, hashtag, it's Marcus.
And James. With the Super Mario Bros. Movie releasing, we've decided to interview popular Nintendo YouTuber Odyssey Central on his channel, Focus on Nintendo, and overall thoughts on the movie.
So let's get right into it. Thanks for coming on today.
My name is Michael, and I run the YouTube channel Odyssey Central, where I mostly make videos on the Mario series, but I sometimes also do some other Nintendo games like Smash Bros, and I also plan on doing some videos for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom once it releases.
Why do you think you've had so much success from your channel?
I think it just comes down to the amount of time I've put into it, because I've been working on this channel for over 10 years now. Spend every week trying to get a new video out and scripting, editing, recording all by myself. So it takes a lot of time, but I think the reason I'm able to succeed is because I'm putting in that time.
Why did you choose Nintendo content as your main focus?
I chose Nintendo content as my main focus because that's usually kind of what I want or like to watch on YouTube. And it's also what I like to play in my free time, so I usually have a lot to say about certain topics, so it's really easy for me to talk about it, and I have a lot of fun making videos on it.
Do you plan to make any content like around this new Super Mario Bros. Movie?
Yes, I've already actually made a few videos on the movie. I think I've made 2 videos talking about like my predictions of what maybe could be in it, and I also plan on doing a review once I go see the movie tomorrow. And also probably a few other videos on possible sequels for the movie, and maybe even if Nintendo plans on doing other franchise movies.
What are your thoughts and what do you expect to see from the movie?
I'm expecting to see a lot of references to the Mario franchise. Just pretty much every game over the years. I mean, from every single trailer we've seen, I think every single Mario game has been referenced in at least some small way. Even in the soundtrack, I think it has songs from every main Mario game as well. And so I'm expecting to see a lot of references to the series. I'm expecting the story to just be a little bit, I guess, on the weaker end, but I'm not going into the movie really for it because that's not really what the Mario series is about. I'm expecting the story to just be pretty basic, but I think it'll be a really fun movie regardless.
Do you expect to see Mario Maker return to television after the film?
I think that they're mostly going to stick to movies for Mario because I think this movie is going to be an extreme success. I think they're mostly going to be sticking to movies for Mario, but I could definitely see Nintendo branching to TV for some other franchises, like maybe Zelda, though I'd personally prefer a movie for that as well.
Why do you think Mario has become such a cultural phenomenon?
I think the reason that Mario is so popular, one, he's been around for so long, everybody knows who Mario is, and when he came out, he was very popular, and they've just been kind of able to keep that popularity going by keeping his games accessible to everybody, so you can be really young and still enjoy the games, and really old and still enjoy the games as well.
Well, that's all we have time for today.
Thank you for your time. It was very nice to have you here for the interview.
Thanks for listening. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
The Coachella Music Festival is one of the biggest music festivals in the country, and here to discuss it is Haley Ruscio.
Hey hashtag! This Friday will be the start of the 22nd annual Coachella Festival, and this year is historic for many reasons. The primary one is how Coachella has upped the diversity of their festival this year. The artists scheduled to perform are from 43 different countries and territories, and 52% of the performers are from outside the United States. As you can see on this graphic, there are many artists performing from across the world. Beyond that, this is the first time in Coachella history that all three headliners are non-white. However, today I'm not going to be talking about the headliners you most likely already heard of. Today I'm going to highlight some of the smaller artists performing at Coachella and talk about how their culture and background influences their music. The first performer I want to highlight is Los Fabulosos Cadillacs, an Argentine ska band that's been around since 1985. The band is known for their ties to salsa, reggae, and funk music, but maybe the most memorable part of their songs are their lyrics. Their lyrics tend to be quite humorous, but Los Fabulosos Cadillacs use their platform and music to speak on politics and stand up for what they believe in. One of the most notable examples of this is in their song Matador. In the song, they speak up against the dictatorship of Latin America. The band has been through many ups and downs, taking a lot of hiatuses through the years. But I, for one, am excited to see what they bring to the Coachella stage and what message they bring to the audience. The next performer I want to talk about is Christine and the Queens, who, despite what the name may suggest, is a solo singer-songwriter. The French singer is known for his indie pop music and moving lyrics, like in the song Les Étoiles, where he sings of the passing of his mother. He also utilizes his classical dance skills in his performances and music videos, which really brings out the emotion of his music and songwriting skills. His name originates from one of his biggest inspirations, European drag queens. Chris has never been shy to express his LGBT pride, as the singer identifies as genderqueer and pansexual. He has shown more and more of his masculine side throughout his history in the music industry. I can't wait to see Christine and the Queen's magnetic energy grace the Coachella stage. The final artist I want to talk about has maybe my favorite name I've ever heard. Uncle Waffles is from Eswatini, a small landlocked country inside of South Africa. She is a DJ, and her music is classified as amapiano. type of house music, specifically from South Africa. Uncle Waffles spoke of her love of the Amapiano genre when she said, quote, "It's rooted in a genuine love and appreciation of music that invites everybody in. There's a cultural and historical attachment to piano due to it being purely African. It's one of the first sounds native to South Africa," end quote. She's the first Amapiano artist to perform on the Coachella stage, and personally, I can't wait to see what comes out of the genre now that it has a bigger platform. All in all, I'm very happy that Coachella seems to be expanding its scope, and it's been a lot of fun to discover new people and new genres of music through it. Back to you guys at the desk.
We are back with hashtag One in the World, and here to give us the rundown, it's Haley Ruscia.
Thank you, Keith and Tim. It's great to be back. Now, let's talk about what's been going on around the world in entertainment news. Member of the pop group S Club 7, Paul Cattermore, is dead at 46. A statement was published on Twitter declaring this news. The statement says, quote, "We are truly devastated by the passing of our brother Paul. There are no words to describe the deep sadness and loss we all feel. We were so lucky to have had him in our lives and are thankful for the amazing memories we have," end quote. Cattermole was found unconscious at his home in Dorset, England on April 6 and was pronounced dead later that day. S Club 7 is a British group that had many hits from 1999 to 2003. They were also featured in a children's television series where the 7 members played fictional characters of themselves. Many fans from around the world expressed mourning for the death of Cattermole all over social media. May he rest in peace. Next up, we're talking about the new book Our King Charles III by Prince Harry, which was released this past September. Recently, more information behind the book has come out, accompanied by a big appearance by Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan. One of the biggest takeaways was the impact of the Queen's death, which affected the entire royal house. Kate Middleton remarks that getting through the death was, quote, "one of the hardest things she ever had to do," end quote. Sources close to the royal family described their apparent unity after the Queen's passing as, quote, "illusion," end quote. The book also describes the falling out of the family, how the Queen felt about certain members of the family, such as Harry and Meghan. Finally, British musical The Bodyguard is known for featuring the famous Whitney Houston song, "I Will Always Love You." Last Friday, however, there was some conflict between the audience and the musical itself during a performance of the song in Manchester. After two fans decided to sing along to the song, the show stopped and they got thrown out of the venue. This is despite the fact that ushers carried signs stating, quote, "Please refrain from singing," end quote, and many announcements were made before the show to not sing along to the famous ballad, but some decided not to listen. One audience member, Tony Kenyon, recalled somebody shouting, quote, "Does this mean we can start singing now?" end quote, when the performance caused. The stage turned black and screams from the audience ensued. Because of this, the show ultimately ended early. That's all I have for this week's hashtag What in the World. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Haley. Keith, when is the last time you watched a superhero movie?
I don't know about you, Tim, but both DC and Marvel films have not been doing too well at the box office, and here were the theories of why that may be is Michael Rada.
Hey hashtag, it's Michael, and I'm here to talk about the recent superhero movies that have been underperforming at the box office. Those movies include Black Adam, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. First off, many audiences are claiming that people are sick of superhero movies or that the genre is dying, but I disagree. I think it's just that they're just not as well done nowadays, compared to the 2010s where we got The Winter Soldier and the first Guardians. Now, the new Ant-Man movie just made $473 million, and it's just another Marvel project that many critics say was lazily done. Kevin Feige, who is the president of Marvel Studios that produced all the movies up until this point, is spreading himself too thin. Now, I'm a fan of Kevin Feige, but that was when he was doing 2 or 3 projects a year. In 2022, he produced 3 movies, 3 live-action shows, and 2 TV specials. Marvel is seemingly pushing out too much content and is putting quantity over quality. And audiences are definitely noticing as they are just not showing up to theaters. Many longtime Marvel fans have publicly stated that they've just lost their magic, but it can definitely get gained back as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out next month. With Black Adam, it has one of the biggest movie stars in the world and still only made $349 million. This shows that the movie needs to be done right and produced well. You can't just put The Rock in a movie, make him fly, and top the box office. On top of that, many stated that the movie didn't even look good, and Warner Brothers knew that because they put Superman in the promos to gain box office. Unfortunately, Shazam! Fury of the Gods is piggybacking off of these 2 movies. The movie-going audience is smart. They know that the genre is lowering in quality, so they just didn't show up to theaters. Another reason why it might have failed at the box office is that because the universe is getting rebooted soon, so a lot of people just lost interest. The movie is now estimated to lose $150 million, and it had a 69% drop on its second weekend. Now, some people think this is just because that people aren't going to movies anymore, but last month, Scream 6, John Wick 4, and Creed 3 all made franchise records. Altogether, I think studios are realizing that the genre is going downhill, so I do have high hopes for the future. That's all I have here. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
We're back with this week's Hollywood news update, and here to fill us in on all the latest West Coast entertainment news is Michael Katzflin.
Thanks, guys. Jumping right into the first story. It seems to be all but confirmed that we are getting a Harry Potter reboot. HBO Max and Warner Bros. Are reportedly in final talks with J.K. Rowling to create a Harry Potter streaming TV series based on the original books, with each season detailing one book in the novel series. The project is still in its infancy, but a Harry Potter TV reboot has been on the horizon for the streaming service for 2 years. It has been 12 years since the movies concluded, and this series would provide an opportunity to delve deeper into the world of Hogwarts and cover events that didn't make it into the original movies. However, given that the original cast has aged out of their roles, there will likely be a high-profile hunt for new actors to portray Harry, Hermione, and Ron. J.K. Rowling retains creative control over any Harry Potter-related material, and while she will allegedly be involved in the series to ensure it remains loyal to her original material, she would not be involved in day-to-day filming. As exciting as this sounds, this could hurt the impact the original films had left. So, what are you guys' thoughts? Do you think this reboot will be worth the while, or should the franchise be untouched given the legacy of the movies?
Well, Tim, I think it's worth a while. It's something interesting to see, a bit surprising with how it's turning out with the J.K. Rowling, what's been going on with her, and overall, you don't really see a lot of things go from a movie to a TV show coming from a book. I thought that was kind of interesting, but I'm probably going to watch that.
I'll probably check it out. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I guess the question everybody has is this necessary? Do we really need to do it all over again? But if they do something completely different, maybe try to make it a little bit closer to the books, we might have a pretty cool project on our hands. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, no, I'm very torn between this because I love the Harry Potter movies, and I think it was a perfect cast. But I will give this show the benefit of the doubt because, like with a TV show, they can really delve in and flesh out the story. So, moving on to our next subject, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson shared on Instagram that he would reprise his role as Maui in a live-action version of Disney's Moana. The actor, along with his wife and daughters, spent some quality family time in Hawaii and shared a behind-the-scenes video on Instagram. Johnson expressed his gratitude for the privilege of having his family with him and enjoying the beauty of Hawaii, where he spent a lot of his growing up years. He also thanked his fans for the love and support they have shown towards the announcement of his role as Maui. Johnson said that the role of Maui is the role of a lifetime, and he promises to give it his all. While we won't be able to give proper judgment on how the movie will turn out, fans are questioning if it is a little too soon for this, given Moana only released in November 2016. But what do you guys think? How soon is too soon for a live-action remake?
I mean, this is just like the Harry Potter thing. I mean, we're recycling, these stories, but the studios, they know that recycling old IPs is safer than creating new ones and taking a chance on whether fans would like it. And at the end of the day, box office sales, they're gonna sell. It doesn't matter what the critical reception online is. The target audience is not us. It's
I
kids,
agree with
it's
that.
families.
It's still going to keep selling.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting how it turns out. But again, it's not our target audience isn't going to be us. It's going to be for younger generation. It's always going to do good. But Michael, what do you think?
So it's certainly interesting. Like, I definitely do think this will be a massive success, but I just still feel like it's a little too soon, given the movie's not even 7 years old. And if they decide to go with a Moana 2, it's going to be really awkward having both live-action and animated continue at the same time. If you ask me, I think they should wait 15 to 20 years, and if nothing has happened with the franchise, then they can make a live-action remake, but that's just me. Finally, after years of rumors, Shrek 5 is finally happening. In a recent interview with Chris Meledandri, founder of Illumination Entertainment, he expressed his optimism that the original Shrek cast will return for the 5th movie in the franchise. While no deals are in place, he said talks with the actors are going well, and there's tremendous enthusiasm on their part to return. Meledandri was thrilled when he read Eddie Murphy's comments about his willingness to reprise the role as Donkey. Meledandri believes that Donkey is a character that could support his own film, similar to the Puss in Boots spin-offs. While Puss in Boots: The Last Wish was a massive success and likely paved the way for 2 new Shrek movies, it is worth mentioning that the quality of the franchise dipped in Shrek the Third, following with Shrek Forever After not performing as well at the box office compared to the previous films. What are your opinions on this? Should they let the Shrek franchise rest under those 2 entries, or does the success of Puss in Boots prove that there is potential for a good Shrek 5 film and a standalone Donkey movie?
I think the success in the Puss in Boots shows we can give it another chance. It's never going to be as good as Shrek 1 and 2, but I think it's worth a try.
I agree. I mean, the question is there such thing as too much Shrek? I don't think so. I just saw the new Puss in Boots movie, loved it, so I'm ready for more. Let's get it going. Michael, more Shrek?
The first 2 Shreks are very big classics, and 3 and 4 were a bit weaker, but Puss in Boots was a fantastic movie, so I'm a bit shaky on what they would do with a Donkey standalone film, but Shrek 5 I'm excited for. That's all I have time for this week's Hollywood News Update. We'll be right back out of this commercial break.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Joe, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
One of my favorite music artists growing up was Ellie Goulding, so I was so excited to hear that she was releasing new music. Here with her thoughts on the latest album is Lane Dubin.
Hey hashtag, it's Lane. British pop singer Ellie Goulding just released her long-awaited 5th studio album, Higher Than Heaven. This 16-track album explores escapist anthems and reflects a variety of different dance pop subgenres, like disco, house, and synth pop. I'm going to be walking you through Goulding's process and intentions behind making her newest album. So, let's get into it. Goulding has put together another effortlessly seamless album with a cathartic sound that invites you to the dance floor. Goulding said in an interview with the Daily Beast that while crafting this album, she got the fever for wanting to play live and at festivals and on tour. She sees herself dancing away on the stage, and this album embodies that vibe perfectly. Something I think is really interesting that Goulding did while making this album with the song collection is how it didn't really pull from any of her personal experiences. There are no ballads on this album. A lot of artists have been putting out a lot of deeply personal music, but Goulding said herself that this album isn't meant to be overanalyzed sexualized or overinterpreted. She sings about the electricity and intoxication of love with tracks like Midnight Dreams, By the End of the Night, and Higher Than Heaven. Golding's album really is a textbook example of using music to escape reality for a second. The album has no connection to her personal life and by extension to anyone that's listening, so fans aren't stuck with thinking about their personal lives and their personal baggage with all of Golding's new songs. They really can just leave that at the door and just dance to these songs. One song that stands out to both Golding and myself as well is her song Better Man. The pre-chorus gives off empowering ethereal vibes, while the chorus is more eerie and unsettling. Out of all 16 tracks on this album, this song might be the one exception to having a slightly deeper meaning than the rest. Golding said that while writing this song, just being able to say, "I'm a better man" out loud felt really good for her. This song is about being a powerful woman, since at the time of making this song, Golding was facing misogyny from the press. Overall, this album is a refreshingly simple take on modern music, and Ellie Goulding did not disappoint. That's all for me, sending it back to the desk.
In honor of the trailer for the Barbie movie being released, we put out a poll to see what your favorite Ryan Gosling movies were, and this is what you thought.
Let's see what we got here.
Let's see which one they got. I think I know it's going to be first. It was La La Land.
It was La La Land. I had a feeling it would be La La Land.
Yeah, that's why I thought. We got a three-way tie, you could say, for a second overall, but I think La La Land. How about you? You talk about La La Land for a little.
All right, well, I love La La Land, and it really shows his musical theater chops. We know Ryan Gosling got his start on the Mickey Mouse Club television show back in the 90s. We know he can sing, he can dance, he can act. He's the triple threat. But what's your thoughts on Crazy Stupid Love? Because I know you're a rom-com guy.
I'm a big rom-com guy. Crazy Stupid Love, great movie. He does as much as you want right there. He's just hilarious all the time, and he fit that role amazing. But what about any other movies Ryan Gosling like?
Well, I was going for, personally, I wanted Blade Runner to win. I love In Blade Runner, he is literally me. What about Remember the Titans?
Remember the Titans? It's not like a big role of his compared to the other ones, but it was still him early on, as young in his career. I thought he did a great job, and that's one of the reasons why he had key success overall in his career.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
it's true.
You definitely do.
I mean, what about the Barbie movie? Are you excited for the Barbie movie?
The Barbie movie, of course, I'm excited for. It's going to be great. I'm going to wear a suit. That's how excited. You got to be all professional. This is going to be one of the best movies of the year. It comes out in July.
I'm going to dye my hair blonde.
You can dye your hair blonde?
For Ken.
All right, I'll keep that noted. Ken's going to be great. There's so many different Kens.
She's everything and he's just Ken, but we like Ken.
Yeah,
do we not?
Like Ken. Ken's going to be great.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to see it. There's so many different things. Michael Cera is also going to be in it, but I'm excited to see the Barbie movie.
Now moving on to what to watch. My what to watch is the upcoming horror comedy movie Renfield. I was delightfully surprised when I saw the trailer for this movie. It's a modern take on the R.M. Renfield character from Bram Stoker's 1897 novel Dracula. Renfield is the assistant to Dracula, and in this movie is portrayed by actor Nicholas Hoult, who many know from another popular horror comedy, 2013's Warm Bodies. We'll be getting a really cool Dracula performance by Nicolas Cage and the addition of some really comedic talent like Awkwafina and Ben Schwartz. Renfield is coming to theaters this Friday.
I'm excited to watch the movie Sweetwater that comes out this weekend. The film is a true story about Nat Sweetwater Clifton, who is played by Everett Osborne, being the first African American to sign a contract with the National Basketball Association in the 1950s. Mark Gugway is the writer and director of the movie and has been reported to be working on this film since 2006. I'm confident that this movie will come out great.
That's all we have time for this week on #that.
Make sure to follow us on our social media accounts to stay up to date.
I'm Tim Malone.
And I'm Keith Savage. Thank you for watching #that from the producers, talent, everyone working hard behind the scenes. Thank you for watching. We will see you again next week.